Hi friends, and welcome to dispatch number 4 of the Sienna sessions. Tell me if this sounds familiar to you. I suspect all of us have at least one friend, if not more than one friend, who is extremely talented at something: art, music, writing, poetry, dancing, whatever it might be, or they're really good at their job, and you know that they're really good at their job, and yet they can constantly talk about how not talented they are. Now, it could be the case that this is what's some people refer to as false humility or false modesty, or it might be that people, it could be, some people think that it might be that people are fishing for compliments and really know that they are talented. But more than likely, it's something called the imposter syndrome that's going on with your friends. And truth be told, we all experience it at some point in our life, or maybe even all throughout our life. Some people might all the time have this. And basically, probably most of you have heard of the imposter syndrome and know a little bit about it. A lot has been written about it, and I've heard spoken about a lot. But just in case, I'll tell you what it is. The imposter syndrome is, just in a nutshell, essentially this feeling that someone might have, and I think we all have at some point, that we don't belong, that we are fooling people. We really believe that we are not gifted or talented, and that somebody's going to find out we are faking it this whole time. We don't know what we're doing, or maybe we've achieved some level of success and we feel like I really don't deserve it, or the person feels like maybe they don't deserve it, and they just feel like at some point people are going to find out that I'm really not that good, I'm not that whatever. And so sometimes people will do things like talk about how they aren't good as somewhat of a defense mechanism. Like, okay, as long as I'm telling people this, then when they find out, when they discover that it really is true, they can't accuse me of lying. And that's basically, in a nutshell, the imposter syndrome. Now, like I said, I think everybody at some point wrestles with it, if not for extended periods of time wrestles with it, and it can come in a lot of different forms. I wanted to share with you today the form that my imposter syndrome actually takes. I've wrestled with this for quite a while, actually. So basically, this is how it comes for me. All the time, I am a idea generator. I constantly am coming up with ideas. Oftentimes very creative ideas or related to creativity. So it might be an art project or a book or poetry, songs, movie ideas, game ideas, podcast ideas, comedy sketches, comic book ideas. Just tons of ideas. And in my mind, they are wonderful. They're amazing. They're beautiful ideas that would, in my opinion, could just blow the world away. And yet, I don't often act on these ideas. And the problem is, I have this fear that what I'm going to actually produce or create will not match the idea. I have these big, beautiful ideas. I'm worried that as soon as I actually try to bring them out, they won't match. They will not meet the level, the expectations that I've set for the idea. And so a lot of those things just don't get done. And they just sit back there, or I'll forget them, or I don't write them down. I just worry that it's not going to be, or if I do share it with someone, I feel like, well, maybe that's good enough, because I know it's never going to match the idea that I have in my mind. So I'm not going to produce it. I'm not going to get it out there. Maybe I'll share it with somebody as an idea and get a little bit of praise or feedback, positive feedback on the idea, but that's as far as it might go in a lot of cases. Now, I've struggled with that. I've wrestled with that a lot for a number of years now. I want to share with you 2 things that have helped me. I'm not, when I say it's helped me, it hasn't necessarily prompted me to anything wonderful, but it's helped me a lot. One, it's essentially 2 pieces of advice. One from somebody who was giving me advice about college, actually, and you may have heard me say this before. I've definitely written it somewhere before or spoken about it in a podcast or 2 before. And the advice was this. Now, it'll ring a little bit familiar, but there's a little twist at the end. And the advice is this: anything worth doing is worth doing. Period. It ends there. The old saying goes, anything worth doing is worth doing well. But in this idea, in this saying, it's if it's worth doing, it's worth doing. It's worth getting out there. It's worth doing, even if it's not going to attain perfection, even if it's not wonderful and amazing. If it's worth doing, it is worth doing. Just do it. It might not reach that level of great and perfect, but get it out there. That's the first thing. The second little bit that's helped me that's helped me quite a bit over the last few years is I got from another friend who struggles with the same thing. And it's this: whatever it is that you make, whatever it is that you produce, is automatically going to be better than the idea. Because, here's why, this is the rub: the idea isn't real. It doesn't exist. It doesn't matter how perfect and wonderful it is as an idea, it doesn't exist. So whatever you make, whatever you put out there, whatever you produce, is, once it's completed or once it's out there, automatically better already than the idea. And that's helped me a lot because, you know what? The truth is, if it's not made, it doesn't matter how good the idea is. It's not real. It doesn't exist. So I try to get it out there. I still struggle. It holds me up really, and it holds me up a lot. But those are the things that help me a little bit. And, frankly, if you have some ideas or some advice on how to deal with imposter syndrome, please share in the comments. If you struggle with imposter syndrome, let me hear your story. I'd love to hear it. Maybe I can help you in some way. I don't know. But, we all deal with it a little bit. So if you want to share some of your ideas, please do so in the comments. If you like any of these videos, please subscribe to this, my channel. You'll get to the automatic updates, but you've got to also hit that little bell that's somewhere on the page that will send you automatic notifications. Thank you very much for watching. And if this has helped you at all, please share and let other people know. Thanks.